Tonight, it never ends. That's the president's reaction to Special Counsel Robert Mueller's decision to testify to 2 House committees next month.
The Mueller thing never stops. There was no collusion. There was no obstruction. There was no nothing. How many times do we have to hear it? It never ends. It just keeps going on and on. I've been going through this for 2 years, 2.5 years.
But some Democrats say Mueller's testimony could be the thing that increases calls for impeachment. Out front now, Democratic Congressman Denny Heck, who sits on the House Intel Committee, one of the committees that will be questioning Mueller. So, Congressman Heck, I appreciate your time as always. So, Lindsey Graham is telling CNN that the Mueller hearings could blow up in Democrat faces. Ultimately, it's not going to change anybody's mind. What do you say to Senator Graham?
I say it's a pretty audacious assertion to make 3 weeks ahead of the hearing and before he heard a single word that Director Mueller gives in testimony. And look, we're just all going to have to wait and see what he has to say before we reach any hard and fast conclusions.
So I want to play what Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said. She's also not waiting until that time. Here's what she said to Armanu Raju.
The pressure to impeach grows every single day, and I think that having public testimony from Robert Mueller will add credence to the case, and I think it only adds to the pressure once his statements are made public.
Do you agree? Do you think that Mueller's appearance will increase calls for impeachment?
I think it certainly holds the potential to do that. I mean, as I've said to you before, Erin, the Mueller report, even unredacted, is like having the sheet music to a song, never having actually heard it sung. And when Director Mueller, who's only made one public appearance in 2 years, actually comes forth and gives public testimony, we will be hearing the song for the first time. And so, again, depending on what it is he says and how it is he answers our question, there's no question that it has the potential to increase the demand or change minds or put people over the edge to call for either an impeachment or an impeachment inquiry, which seems to be the more popular proposal at the current time.
So, you know what, to this point, though, I'm curious, because, he has said, look, it's a 448-page report. He has been very clear when he gave that press conference, which, by the way, when he said verbally the very words that were in the report, it did feel different to people. So perhaps you're going further than that, but I understand that point. But he did say directly, the report is my testimony. When talking about testimony to Congress, I would not provide information beyond that which is already public in any appearance before Congress. So when you say it's a song we haven't heard, maybe it's a song people chose not to read, but do you really think we're going to get anything new?
Well, again, it remains to be seen. Look, Director Mueller said he wouldn't appear before Congress, and now he's going to. He said he wouldn't do anything but read from the report, and we'll see if that's the case. But as you indicated, I think there is power in him actually saying the words out loud, a human voice, not just words, ink on a piece of paper. Additionally, remember that the Intelligence Committee is going to have the opportunity to meet with some of his high-ranking deputies to actually ask them questions about the counterintelligence part of this, the Volume 1 portion of the Mueller report. So I think that there's a distinct possibility that something will come of this that matters. But again, we won't know until July 17th.
So how much time are you going to spend working on your questions? And are you all going to be doing the questioning yourselves? Are you going to bring in an expert prosecutor? Have you decided?
I think it's both. I heard Chairman Schiff say on television last night that the members would have an opportunity to ask questions, although I don't know that that's been completely finalized. I know how I'm going to prepare. I thoroughly read the Mueller report, and especially Volume 1 because it deals with the counterintelligence matters, which members of the Intel Committee are more interested in. I annotated it. I'm going to go back and I'm going to prioritize the kinds of things I want to ask. But if you were to ask me next, for example, Congressman Heck, what are those things? I would say, I would be asking him, is it true that he didn't investigate or research whatsoever any potential financial conflicts of interest that the president may have had that would help explain the inexplicable coziness with the Russians? I would ask him, from his standpoint, are there continuing gaps in our national security system that make us vulnerable to this continuing kind of interference from Russia? And if he thinks they are, what are they and what should we do about them?
All right. Congressman Denny Heck, thanks as always. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.